Thanks for checking out the video. Feel free to like, dislike, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I'm not sure how you ended up here, but I'll let you know that I plan to do some other videos that you might like, mostly relating to firearms, including some pretty rare and interesting pieces. Also plan to do some on firearm-related parts, accessories, and other gear, so I do encourage you to subscribe if any of these things pique your interest. In this video, I'm going to cover another pistol in my collection that seems to be pretty rare. I've never seen another video featuring this pistol, and I've only seen one review on it that was from an article written in October of 2003. Actually, the black and white photo coming up is a picture from that article, and other than that, the last time I saw this pistol mentioned was on a silencer forum in 2008. I'm actually going to do two videos featuring this pistol, and was going to initially try to combine all the information into one, but figured it'd be pretty long, and some people may only want to see one part that really interests them. So in this first one, I'll briefly cover the development and history of this model, features of the pistol, some information on the suppressor manufacturer, Advanced Armament Corporation, or AAC as it will be referenced throughout the rest of the video. I'll go over the suppressor itself with some additional specs, data, and some personal opinions, and try and finish off with a couple more range clips. The second video I'm going to do, we'll start with some range clips. I'll do a disassembly, brief cleaning, and then a reassembly portion, and try and finish that one off with some range videos as well. In the meantime, if you'd like to skip the information portion of this video and go directly to the range clips, I'll post the time to skip to now. If you're sticking around to see the first portion, I appreciate it. So without further ado, here is AAC's integrally suppressed 22 long rifle pistol, the Dragonfly. The Dragonfly started out as a Browning Buckmark camper, and the upper receiver was modified by AAC to fill the niche for a compact, integrally suppressed 22 pistol, similar to the Ruger Mark II that was also available in the early 2000s. Go over some of the history. The Buckmark Standard was developed by Browning Arms Company in Morgan, Utah. It was contracted to be manufactured by Arms Technology Inc. in Salt Lake City, Utah, and introduced in 1985. Featured an aluminum alloy frame, had a 5.5-inch bull barrel, a matte blue finish, gold trigger, and weighed between 34 and 36 ounces. I assume the weight difference designates the weight of the empty pistol, and then the weight of an empty pistol with an empty magazine inserted, as mine weighs 2.05 ounces. In '99, Browning introduced the Buckmark Camper. I'm not 100% sure what all the differences were between the two, that being the Standard and the Camper, but it looks like the Camper came with ambidextrous composite grips and a set of more user-friendly sights known as the Pro Target sights. It still featured the 5.5-inch bull barrel and weighed 34 ounces. A nickel finish had been introduced on earlier versions and was also available on the Camper from its introduction in '99 until the finish was discontinued in 2005. Hopefully we can get it to focus. But here you can see the engravings for Browning Arms Company, Morgan, Utah, USA, as well as Montreal, Canada. And the serial number on the frame has been covered up with, if you were wondering what that tape was. On the opposite side, we have the engravings for caliber designation, model, made in the USA. The suppressor was manufactured by AAC, and at the time they were in Duluth, Georgia. I also covered up the serial number here, but they have their model and caliber as well. We'll go over some of the features. It has an open receiver, unlike the Ruger Mark Series pistols that only have an ejection port on the right side of the receiver. It seems that Browning's thinking was that having the open port on both sides would allow more blowback gases and unburned powder or anything else to be expelled out of both sides of the receiver to minimize fouling. I think a lot of people are aware that .22 ammunition is inherently dirty, and most semi-automatic 22s require a fair amount of cleaning to keep them functioning properly, but maybe Browning was onto something. Whether or not this actually helps, I'm not sure. I generally maintain my firearms pretty well. They're cleaned on a regular basis, unless I'm doing some kind of powder or torture test to see what parts fail and when. I have had one issue, a major issue with this pistol that I had to fix, but I'll get into that on the second video that for those that are interested in the disassembly and reassembly process. So, pistol also features a thumb safety, locks the trigger so it can't be pulled, also locks the slide so it can't be retracted. On this particular pistol, the safety is extremely tight and actually takes quite a bit of effort to manipulate. I'm not sure if that's common with this model or just indicative of this particular one. The rear sight is mounted to a top strap sight base that's plastic. I did remove the original sights and installed a set of Williams fiber optics fire sights. Trigger's decent. Breaks right around 3.5 pounds. I think there were some models of Buckmarks that had adjustable triggers, but that option wasn't available on the camper as far as I know. Slide locks open on the last round, which is nice. Keeps you from dropping the firing pin on an empty chamber, which is generally frowned upon, more specifically with 22s. Magazine is a single stack 10 round. As I mentioned, it weighs about 2 ounces unloaded. And actually, another feature of this pistol is that it has a magazine disconnect, which means that right now you would be able to fire the pistol, and if you had a round in the chamber and the safety off, if the magazine has been removed, you can pull the trigger and it will not fire. So, as I stated, I replaced the sights. I also removed the original grips, which were shown in the photo from that 2003 article. And I installed these Browning rosewood right-handed target grips. I have actually shot this left-handed, and it does work okay, but definitely designed and better suited for a right-handed shooter. I bought this pistol in 2006 and replaced the grips shortly thereafter, and they appear to have been discontinued since then. So as for AAC, according to Wikipedia's page concerning AAC and the Dragonfly, this is listed as a discontinued model of an integrally suppressed .22 pistol using the Ruger Mark II, which as far as I know is incorrect. Obviously I have the Dragonfly on a Browning Buckmark, and all related paperwork I have or have seen shows it was designated for the Browning only. They may have made another upper called the Dragonfly for Ruger, but I can't find any information on it. So if anybody has any information on a Ruger Dragonfly, I would appreciate you posting a link or sharing the information below. Regardless, a lot of information on the wiki page is accurate. They were founded in '94 by Kevin Brittingham in Georgia. Sold to Remington Arms Company in 2009. Moved from Georgia to Huntsville, Alabama in 2015. And then when Remington filed for bankruptcy in 2020, AAC was sold off to JJE Capital Holdings LLC. So I guess technically all their products have been discontinued at this point. I've actually dealt with AAC somewhat recently concerning an attempt to get some warranty work performed on another suppressor, and have in turn found out that the future of the company is uncertain. I have a couple other videos on this channel relating to the Remington AAC warranty, as well as a review of the AAC SDN6 suppressor. So if any of those interest you, go ahead and check those out. The suppressor is made from 6061 T6 aluminum and steel, anodized in matte black. I think the cap and baffle are steel, and the first baffle, and the rest is aluminum, if memory serves me correctly. The suppressor is 7 inches long, 1 inch in diameter, and my barreled assembly weighs 12.91 ounces. It might have weighed less 15 years ago, but I didn't put it on a scale back then. I've had thousands of rounds through this thing, so it may have some lead and powder fouling that has built up and added some weight over the years. If you're interested to see the barrel or suppressor assembly, you can see it removed from the frame in the disassembly video. As for performance, I generally use CCI Mini Mag 36 grain copper plated hollow points that are rated at 1260 feet per second. I think that's the rating out of a 16-inch barrel, because I don't get the supersonic crack out of this pistol. I'm not sure what all ammunition was used during the initial testing, but reports have been that with the Remington high velocity ammunition, the suppressor was able to reduce the sound signature by 35 decibels, and standard and subsonic ammunition, they were able to achieve 40 dB suppression. Brought the total sound signature to around 113 dB, which is ridiculously quiet for a gunshot. Initially, this was advertised as being 30 ounces, which is 4 ounces less than the standard factory Buckmark camper. The weight reduction was due to AAC thinning out the bull barrel before attaching the suppressor. So even though they added 2.2 inches to the overall length, they were able to trim almost 4 ounces off the original weight. As it sits, pistol is 13 inches long, 5.5 inches high, and weighs 30.27 ounces. The additional weight in mine, as I said, could be the buildup of lead, copper, carbon residue, and mixed with a little bit of Croil, which is the cleaning solvent that was used or recommended to be used on the suppressor. Could be a little bit of additional weight because of the grips, or maybe mine just happened to weigh a little bit more from the factory. I'm not sure. So all in all, I'm a huge fan of the package. It's compact, quiet, accurate, and has the elongated sight radius on it. It's cheap to feed. I mean, 22 ammunition is probably some of the cheapest stuff out there. But it's a complete blast to shoot. Can also be a great tool for introducing inexperienced people to the world of firearms because of the low sound report, low recoil, and the ease of operation. I think that pretty much covers everything I was thinking about for this video. As I said, there's a second one that details the disassembly, cleaning, and reassembly, and some more range clips. So if any of those interest you, go ahead and check those out. If that doesn't interest you, then I appreciate you sticking around and watching this segment. As always, remember your Second Amendment rights are always under attack, and every gun law is 100% unconstitutional. So thanks again for watching. Hit the like, dislike, and subscribe buttons. Feel free to leave questions and comments, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.